Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 151, The Truth About Launching Your Virtual Assistant Business.
We've come across some pretty grim stats that we want to share with you all today. Are you ready? Pretty grim. 80% of businesses fail within 2 years. 96 fail within 10. Now, here's the really grim bit. Of that remaining 4% that are still in business, they're not necessarily successful or profitable. They are surviving, they're not thriving.
So it's pretty grim.
Grim.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though, right? Because many people who start a business, and virtual assistants included, they kind of just muddle along and do everything themselves. They DIY it. They don't necessarily get advice or coaching, and they kind of just make it up.
Yeah, that was me.
That was me.
I made it up. You too? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Made it up.
And I didn't think there was anything wrong with making it up, because in so many ways I felt as though, and the proof was in the pudding, in so many aspects I was successful. My online presence was great. I was attracting leads. I was converting those leads. I had a wait list. From the outside looking in, my God, she muddled along just fine. But that was just one side of it. There were other things.
What was the truth about that, Sam?
The truth is, because I was muddling along, there were two key basics, business basics, that I had got very wrong from the outset, and they held me back for years. That's the truth.
You going to let us know what they are?
Do you want me to?
Yeah. What were the two things, Sam?
My services and my prices. So basic. So basic. I was lucky to be in a position where I guess I could be in survival mode for as long as I did. But we see so many virtual assistants, they're not. They're not in that same position I was back in the day. And so they very quickly have to go back to a 9 to 5.
Yeah. And so because your services and pricing weren't serving your business or you or what you wanted or your lifestyle or anything in your business, so what was the kind of turning point for you? How did you not realize that those were the two things that were wrong?
I invested back into my business despite, at the time, I'm like, oh, can I afford this? Can I afford to hire a coach that's been there, done that, but is going to tell me exactly where it is I'm going wrong? And I hummed and I had and I hummed some more. And then I pulled on my big girl pants. I found that money because I knew without it, I wasn't going to be able to last another 2 years in survival mode. No way. So I found the money and made it work. And within a week, I turned it around.
So it's that mindset, isn't it, of like spending money as opposed to investing to get a return? Because like investing that money in the coach was your turning point, and then now after that you could then actually be earning really great money.
Yeah. I mean,
You got that
I had to
return.
take the action. So the coach, was able to very quickly pinpoint where I had, I don't want to say gone wrong. I'd gone wrong. I absolutely had gone wrong. I'm going to own that. But these 2 business basics were not serving me or the business. She was very, very quickly was able to pinpoint those, gave me the advice, and I was at the point there, I was like, look, if I don't take this advice, then this is on me. I had no choice. I then had to take the action. I'd paid for the advice. Why wouldn't I then take the action?
Yeah. And yeah, this is what we see so many virtual assistants doing. Like they've done exactly what you did back then, Sam, is like made it up, got really busy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they had great cash flow or loved their business. And so now we see them come to us for coaching, and then we help them turn that around. Like that is such a typical scenario to be in,
Yeah.
to then like what we can help them with. Right. I did the same thing where I made it up as I went along and just did what I thought was required or was the right decision in my business. And then it was 4 years in. I'd survived the first 2 years. Was definitely not thriving. I was not pulling a decent income. I had not replaced my income at that point from my 9 to 5 job, and got into a really bad situation financially, and the business was about to collapse. Like there was no way we could keep trading if I was going to continue. So like you, it was such a struggle to get my head around finding money when you don't have the money.
Yeah.
And you're saying things like, I can't afford that. How am I going to get the money? It feels like, oh, am I actually going to get a return from this money? Like if I spend money on coaching, that's like what I thought I was doing, spending money. It just didn't feel like it was making sense. However, I knew that like if I didn't, I was never going to have a successful business because it was about to go under. So got myself a business coach. And then I think it was the next year or a couple of years after that, then invested in $30,000 a year in a coaching program in Australia, and had to fly over from New Zealand to Australia, attend the conferences. I think it was like 3 or 4 a year. Like that's a lot of money.
It's
That
a lot of
is
money.
a lot of money. And 2020, that financial year, we were doing about 850K revenue. And this year, we're about to do 1.5 something, just about to end the financial year. And so that difference in those 3 years, 2 or 3 years of getting the coaching, implementing everything, like you, Sam, got to actually take the action,
Yeah.
and then almost doubled the revenue.
Wow. Wow. What a
Because of
turning
the
point.
coaching.
What a turning point.
Now, like you and we fundamentally know that coaching, investing, hiring experts, learning from people who know what they're talking about and have been there is
Yeah.
like the game changer of business.
Oh, big time. I think you've just touched on something there, though. People that have been there, they've done that, they've got the experience. Now, there are a lot of coaches out there, a lot of coaches to choose from. So do your research. Exactly how long have they been in business for? What's their success story?
Yeah, have they got past the like 2 years, the 10 years even better?
Yes.
Like there's only what was the stat? There is only 4% of businesses that make it past 10 years. That is the people that you want to be learning from.
Yeah. I mean, you're over 10 years.
Yeah, this will be 11.
You're 11. I'm at 7.5.
Yeah.
We've been around the block, Joe. Let's be honest.
We have. So what we want for you, like if you're an aspiring virtual assistant, maybe you're in a job or you're like got kids at home and you are wanting to launch your very own virtual assistant business, whether you learn from us or learn from others, make sure that you are setting yourself up properly from the
Mm,
start with the best business model, the right services, the right pricing, the right structure, the right terms, everything that is going to set you up to have a thriving business beyond the 2-year mark.
mm,
Not just surviving, but absolutely thriving. Make sure that you get invest in some advice, invest in a course, invest in experts who have been there and who have done that. Now,
mm.
tomorrow we open the doors to the Launch in 30 Days course. We're going to give you the tools and the structure and the business model that is going to absolutely set you up to thrive. And how much easier is it, Sam, to do it right from the outset rather than having to change things later on?
Oh, it is gonna save you years. Years. Like, literal years. It is actually gonna save you money. Like, if you're thinking you don't have time to invest in this, it will
Mhm.
save you time in the long run. If you're thinking that you don't have the funds to invest, in the long run, it is going to make you more funds.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Can you imagine if we actually created a fake virtual assistant business in creating this course. And like how simple and fast was it for us to create that business, knowing what we know now and
Mhm.
not wasting all of that time that we wasted in the beginning, agonizing over things, changing things, tweaking things. Like it has saved us so much time. Imagine if we started a virtual assistant business now. Boom, we would be in business in 30 days.
Well, in actual fact, because of our knowledge, because we know, we followed setting up this fake VA business for this course. We followed our proven framework that works.
Mhm.
So we are going to teach you how to do it in 30 days. Where in actual fact, we're at the point now that we are so confident in our framework that we did it ourselves in a day. We
Yeah.
could have launched that business officially
We
within
could
the
have.
day.
We could have absolutely launched it in the day. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that includes the branding and the website and everything else that we're going to teach you in the
Mhm.
30-day course.
So if that sounds amazing to you, you want to set it up right from the beginning, check out the link down below. The doors, as we said, open tomorrow. We would love to see you there. There are limited places, so you cannot dilly-dally. There are spots that have already been taken. We are opening the doors for just 1 week and it starts on 1 May. So by the 30th of May, you will have a launched virtual assistant business and on track to be bringing in that money into your bank account, which will then pay for your course. So it makes sense. All right. We know that there are some listeners who have already created their virtual assistant business, and maybe you are fully booked. Maybe you are not seeing money show up in your bank account like it should. Maybe you have fallen out of love with your business. Maybe you're working day and night just to survive.
Mhm.
And you've come to realize after listening to this episode that there is actually some fundamentals that you may not have got right, that if you tweaked and changed with some help from us, you could absolutely thrive in business and be one of those 4%. So if you want to be a 4%er, come on over into the Scale It Mastermind. That is for you if you want to survive, if you want to thrive, not just survive. We help you scale, hence the name. Scale your business, whether that's with a team or whether that's as a specialty virtual assistant, so that you can be bringing in the money and fall back in love with your business. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the mastermind and the amazing resources, courses, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.